after fighting with my teenage daughter and being embarrassed in front of my 5-year-old and trying to do the laundry and, and just getting ready for next week, I grabbed my favorite. So I'm just going to read you a little bit of that. So I haven't looked at this since 1990. But I still remember reading it for the first time and just loving. Just her voice was so strong, and the poetry and the wording, and it's just something that I just fell in love with so strongly immediately. And then it became kind of fashionable. A lot of people started studying her, and so I'm sure you all have heard this book. Mm-hmm. Their eyes are watching God. Mm-hmm. Okay, so ships at a distance have every man's wish on board. For some they come in with the tide, for others they sail forever on the horizon, never out of sight, never landing until the watcher turns his eyes away in resignation, his dreams mocked to death by time. That is the life of men. Now women forget all those things they don't want to remember, and remember everything they don't want to forget. The dream is the truth. Then they act and do things accordingly. So the beginning of this was a woman, and she had come back from burying the dead. Not the dead of sick and ailing with friends at the pillow and the feet. She had come back from the sodden and the bloated, the sudden death, their eyes flung up wide open in judgment. The people all saw her come because it was sundown. The sun was gone, but he had left his footprints in the sky. It was the time for sitting on porches beside the road. It was time to hear things and talk. These sitters had been tongueless, earless, eyeless conveniences all day long. Mules and other brutes had occupied their skins. But now, the sun and the bosom were gone, so the skins felt powerful and human. They became lords of sounds and lesser things. They passed nations through their mouths. They sat in judgment. Seeing the woman as she was made them, remember the envy they had stored up from other times. So they chewed up the back parts of their minds and swallowed with relish. They made burning statements with questions and killing tools out of laughs. It was mass cruelty, a mood come alive, words walking without masters, walking all together like harmony in a song. What'd you do and come back here in them overalls? Can't she find no dress to put on? Wear that blue satin dress she left here. Where all that money her husband took and died and left her. What that old 40-year-old woman doing with her hair swinging down her back like some young gal. Where she left that young lad of voice she went off here with. Thought she was going to marry? Where had he left her? What he done with all her money? Betcha he off with some girl so young she ain't even got no hairs. Why she don't stay in her class? When she got to where they were, she turned her face on the battle log and spoke. They scrambled a noisy good evening and left their mouths setting open and their ears full of hope. Her speech was pleasant enough, but she kept walking straight onto her gate. The porch couldn't talk for looking. The men noticed her firm buttocks like she had some grapefruits in her hip pockets, the great rope of black hair swinging to her waist and unraveling in the wind like a plume. Then her pugnacious breast trying to bear holes in her shirt. They, the men, were saving with in mind what they had lost with the eye. The woman took the faded shirt and muddy overalls and laid them away for remembrance. It was a weapon against her strength, and if it turned out of no significance still, it was a hope that she might fall to their level someday. But nobody moved, nobody spoke, nobody even thought to swallow a spit until after her gate slammed behind her. Very good. So she hits you hard with her words.
She's amazing.
Sorry, I can't do the dialect very well.
Dialects, yeah.
I saw there was a show on OETA. The first time it came out was a couple weeks ago, but it's on now. It's a part of that American Masters, and this was Alice Walker. And of course, you talked about the color purple, but they talked about how she, when she started writing, how she really kind of brought Jordan Hurston, back to everybody.
Because Langston Hughes got rid of her.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah, I'm jealous.
yeah. Well, they were sexist.
Well, she died poor and alone.
She died dirt poor in a charity hospital.
Yeah, working as a custodian. I read about that.
Yeah.
She and Hughes worked together for a little while, but they fell out.
He fell off.
Well,
Well, one of the, I
It's his fault.
think
it's a long time ago now.
Let it
Let it go.
It's a long time ago.
Well, I just
Come on,
remember.
everybody's dead.
Nobody cares but me.
She wasn't a communist, and so that she got kicked out of their circle,
Right.
and she
was real mouthy,
Yeah.
and she was real smart, and
She showed the guys up.
yeah, that's my thought too. She was far mouthier. She makes me look like like my mother. Because she was so articulate and so arrogant. I mean, everything she Mules is a great book. Everything she writes is wonderful. I mean, it's just.
I would love to see. Are there any like filmed images of her?
I don't know.
There's photos
Might
of
be
her.
something
She's
that's
beautiful.
on
She's
film
beautiful.
Oh, there's a picture.
Like I'd like to see, a movie